Hello guys, how are you? I wanted to let you know that I just created my website where I post my Flutter videos and some blog posts, and I do post them more frequently than I do post on YouTube. So if you don't want to wait for a long time to get my videos, and if you are looking for exclusive content that's somehow hard to find on the web, just go to your favorite browser, type www.santoenoque.com, hit enter, and you'll be redirected to my website. This is my website. So you can create a free account, register for free, and you're going to have more contents from me and another kind of contents that you usually look for. I'll be waiting for you. Hello ladies, hello gentlemen, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing fine because I'm doing fine. Today we are going to learn about something very important, which is first we're going to see, I'm going to give you a small introduction to Firebase FireStore, and then we're going to implement the Google sign-in for our application, and after that is done, we'll start retrieving some data from the database on our Firebase. So I really hope you guys are getting this excited because the app is starting to look more like an app. So let's do it. The first thing we are going to do is basically go to your browser and open Firebase. Mine is already opened. So here you just click on develop, and develop, you go to databases. You can read this. For the users, since I want to implement a collection for the users, you can use a real-time database. It's most of the times people use a real-time database because the Firestore is on beta version, and but anyhow, we are going to use the Firestore because it's very cool, even though it's beta version. We'll just hit on create database. Create database. Oops, what's happening? Okay, let me just reload my page. Okay, just hit create database. And it's taking more time than expected to open this page. I don't know what's the problem. Okay, let's do something easier. You can hit create database for the real-time database, and then we are going to switch. But for you, it's going to work. If you create database for the FireStore, it's going to work. I'm just finding a way around it because my page somehow is not responsive. Maybe because I'm not using Chrome and I'm using Safari, I don't know. But okay, if you are able to just click on the Firestore icon and create database, do that. If you're not, you can click on the real-time database, and from here you can just change to Cloud Firestore, and we're going to use this still on test mode. And it's going to start creating our database. Okay, this is done. I just want to give you a small introduction on how the structure of this works. Uh, Imagine we want to create a group of users. We would do what? First, we call this a collection. And if you're familiar with real-time database, no, with relational databases like SQL and this kind of stuff, a collection, imagine a collection has a table name. Okay, so we can just put here user, and the fields would be like the fields of that particular table. can write here ID of type string, and value is going to be 1 2 3, and we can add another field. We're going to call this field name, and I'm going to write here Santos, and here on the document ID is where we would put this 1 2 3 is like the primary key if you're working with relational databases. But let me create, and I'll try to explain you how this thing works. So here I'm creating our, so here we have the table name, and here we have this field 1 2 3 for the users, and this 1 2 3 is basically the same as this ID, it's just an identifier. So if I want to create another user, I would create a document, and I would give it the document ID of 456. It has to be unique, and here I'm just going to write ID, and I'm going to repeat because here for the document ID I'm giving basically the user ID 456, and I'm going to add another field, and I'm going to call this field, my connection is somehow not working properly today, I don't know what's happening, but okay. And I'm going to add another field, and I'm calling this field name, and here I'm going to give Enoque, which is my second name, and I like my name, so that's why everything I use my name for everything. But anyhow, you see, so in the app this would be like we're creating one user here, his ID here, and then we want to create another user, we're going to use his ID here, and here we have the content, and finally we can create, just to make sure that you understand how this thing works, 789, let's suppose is the ID of this user. You have to write the field name is ID, and the value is 7889, and I'm going to add a field. I'm going to call this field name, and the value of the name would be YouTube, for example. Save. So this is the basic concept, okay? You have the ID, and through the ID you can access the fields, and you can create another collection under these. Under these you can create another collection if you want to. Let's suppose I want to create a separate collection called address. Address, and I'm going to click next, and the document would be one, for example, and now would be what do you have for the address? Street, and street ABC, and town anything, and what else country, moon, he lives on the moon. Save. So under these, for this particular user we have another field called address, and have the values here, and it just has a way of showing you that under one document can add, for example, you have the user, you just want to store username and some stuff, and for the address you want to store everything together, you can do it like that. Okay, I really hope you guys understood this. I'm going to erase all of this because we're going to do this stuff through our application. This was just something for you to understand how it works. Okay, I'll delete everything. Yes, I want to delete everything. Now, since we had our small introduction into FireStore, we can now go to our app and implement the user login and all of that stuff. Okay. Where's the app? Here we have it. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? We are going to do this in a very, very special way. Let's create another images, and what we have images, and I'll create that on the pages. It's supposed to be under pages because here we are going to create our login screen. Hey, and let's just put here new Dart file, and we're going to call this file login. But for our login to perfectly work, we still have to import couple stuff here on our pubspec file. And just go to your favorite browser. Mine happens to be Chrome, and write what Firebase out then Flutter. Okay, you just come here, you hit on install, and you know that you need this. Oh, let's go to our pubspec file. Let's start putting in some work. Then something else is FireStore. Okay, Cloud FireStore, it's here. Blah 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 blah. You come in, copy this, go back to our app, and we're going to. Okay, and other than this, we need Google sign in. So just write Google sign in, and we have it here. Installing Google sign in. Okay, we paste this here. And what about shared preferences? Shared preferences. Installing, copy and paste. Let me zoom to make sure you guys can see this. And one of you guys gave me the suggestion of making the videos 1080p. I would consider that, but the problem is that the videos are going to be very big and it's going to take a lot of more time for me to upload them, and yeah, that's the problem. The last thing you'll need to import here, we are importing quite a lot of things, is called Flutter Toast. Is it toast like this? Yeah, it is. So we are going to install this. We have it here, and let us pray that the pubspec file gives us no problem. Let me open and package get. Package get. Let us pray, let us pray, let us pray. Okay, no problem. Don't mind the red line, no problem. It worked fine. But most of the times, the problem with the pubspec file is because of the indentation of the file. Okay. So this part is done. We can now start putting in some work. Okay. Oh, well. I can close these now. And I'm going to import the material, blah, blah, blah. And zoom this a little bit. Package Flutter material Dart. And then here, The login doesn't need to change nothing on runtime, so we'll just create a stateless widget and we'll call this login. Okay, sounds right. I can put this on full screen. Maybe it's going to be helpful because I usually do this when we need to see the changes over here, but we're not going to have any change for now on that screen. So ladies and gentlemen, no, this is not supposed to be a stateless widget. Create a stateful because something will need to change. But you know what, most of the times when I'm creating a page and I'm not really sure if I'll need to change some content on runtime or not, I just create it as a stateful widget and then I have nothing to lose doing that. So you can just do it like that. Okay, login, I think it's safer for us to do it like this. Oh, then let us start importing some stuff. We're going to need to import a package, shared preferences. We're going to need to import another package of Flutter Toast. We're going to need to import another package. Import another package, and this one is going to be Firebase out here. We may need to import another package, and this one is going to be what is it, Google signin. I hope there's nothing left. Oh, maybe there is something left. We're going to need to import a package, the FireStore, Cloud FireStore, this. Okay, we do have a lot of packages here imported, but anyhow, it's Gucci. Oh, now let us start putting some work in. We are going to create two final variables for now here, and final. The first one is going to be a Google sign-in, and we're going to call this Google sign-in is equal to new Google sign-in. We're just creating a basic object of the type Google sign-in, and then we're going to create another variable final for the Firebase authentication. Final, then we're going to put here Firebase out. We're going to call this Firebase out is equal to Firebase out dot instance. Okay, we're going to create a variable shared preferences. We're going to call this preferences. I like to pick the suggested names. Okay, then we're going to create another variable, two variables actually of type bool, one called loading, and the second one is logged in is equal to false. By default we're just going to put this false, and here I'm going to put false. Okay, let me take a time to explain to you guys what's happening on the screen. Well, here seems like a lot, but actually it's nothing too fancy. We are just creating a variable of the type Google sign-in, then Firebase authentication variable called Firebase out, shared preferences. If you don't know what shared preferences are, is like when you log in, let's suppose you download an app on your mobile phone, okay? Then you log in for the first time. It's going to show you some tutorial screens, let's suppose. Then left, you can do this and that and that and that. But if you open the app for the second time, it's not going to show you that again. What is that? Because there's a value stored somewhere on your mobile phone, like a set of values that define whether it's the first time you're opening the app or not. Okay, so that's shared preferences. Then we're going to create the two variables of type bool. Now, we are going to create a override method for initial state. Okay, and the initial state we can just call super dot initial state to call the initial state of the base class. Okay, you don't need to understand this difficult stuff. You just have to know that you have to write super. You're just calling the initial state of this class over here. And then we are going to call a function called is signed in. I can give that name. Is signed. Oops. Signed in. Okay. Since you don't have this method created yet, it's going to give you that error. Just click on here and ta-da! We create this method. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to create this. Is going to be async. Async stands for asynchronous. I can even put this up here. I'll put it down here. Async basically means asynchronous is going to wait for something that's going to come on future, but while you're waiting you can be doing anything else. So trying to break it down in the most simple way possible, something like that. So here first we are going to set a state of loading is equal to true, because as soon as we start doing what, having a look on this or executing this function to check whether the user is signed in or not, while the function is executing we're supposed to be loading the screen. Okay, then after that we are going to create preferences is equal to await shared preferences dot get instance. Okay, we are assigning an instance of the shared preferences to this variable await, because this is a future method. It's something that it's going to come somehow in the future. For example, when you are loading your Instagram or any kind and you have that round thing circling, it's basically because you're waiting for the data to be loaded to your device. So await is like hold on until you get the value from this. You wait a bit. Okay, and I'm trying to put this in the most simple way possible. I really hope you guys are understanding. Okay, then for our is logged in, remember that we created this variable is logged in is going to be equal to await again, because we want to hold for bit Google sign in dot is signed in, and this is going to return a bool. It's going to check whether the user is signed in or not. Okay, so if statement is logged in is true, you don't have to write if it's true, because if it's true, it's going to be true. Okay, to make it simple for you guys, you can write it like this. Writing this is the same as just writing this. Okay, so for this case, if it's true, we'll want to do what? Navigator dot push, and we're going to do something called push replacement. What's the difference between push and push replacement? Not named, only push replacement. The push replacement, once the page changes, the user doesn't have the ability to hit the backspace and come back to the login. Since we are going to do what? We are going to log the user in. We don't want to give him the ability to go back to the login page since he's in, unless he does a logout, of course. So, material page route, the builder context here is going to be context, and from here we are going to go to our main page. So we may need to home page actually, so we may need to card login profile. Okay, let me open up the main. Okay, home page is here on this main page. It wasn't supposed to be. I would need to create a separate file from there for that, but okay, that's not a big issue. We can see what we do about that afterwards, but I think we should organize this now. So let me create another file here. New file, we're going to call this dart file home page, or simple home, simply home. Okay, import, as you know, package flutter dot. Okay, I'm too lazy to write sometimes, so I just spend more time searching for the auto completion, but it's done. And then we're going back to the main page. Let us copy this stuff here. Where does it start and where does it stop? Okay, from here I can just oops. From here, just below the main, I can just copy everything and go to our home page and do what? Paste it. Okay, we have a couple issues here and there, but that's not a problem. We'll go back to the main and we are going to cut all of these as well, and we're going to paste this here. And what we need to do now is, for the main, we'll need to import the home. So let me zoom, import. You can do something very nice, just do it like this. You see, packages, home. So you don't have to write Flutter blah 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 blah. Just do dot slash and write the directory. The problem is gone now. But no, we don't want to go to the home actually from the main. We want to go to the login page. So here, instead of home, I'll write dot login, and here we are going to load the login page for now. And then here on our login page is where we are going to do import. Since it's in the same folder. Maybe I don't need to write that. It's not a directory. Let me just try to write import home.dart. Oh, and it does work. Since you are in the same directory, just write the name of the file. Now let us go back here, and from here we are going to return a new home page. Okay, it's done. Probably we'll need to pass some info here, but let's give this the basic structure, then we're going to start analyzing that. Okay, after this is done, because the user is logged in, we are going to do something very easy, which is setting a state of loading is equal to false, because we know that the user is logged in also. Okay, I don't know how long this video have been, but I feel like it's going to be kind of long. Now going back here, let me just give you a small explanation. I don't like to just jump to new stuff while we probably didn't completely get the first one. So here guys, what's happening? We are saying when you load the login page, at first go and execute this method, the isSignedIn method. Okay, so what happens in here on this method, we are going to do void isSignedIn async, meaning the method is asynchronous. We'll be waiting for something that's going to come from the future. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically means that while we're processing something, we can be waiting for something else. Then here, when we begin the method, we're going to do set state loading is equal to true to make sure that we have that circular thing symbolizing the loading. We'll configure this, no problem. Then the preferences is equal to get an instance of the shared preferences, and is logged in is equal to await Google signed in. This is just to make sure if the user is signed in on Google or not, and if he is, this is going to be true, and then we are going to redirect the user to our home page. Then loading is equal to false. Now let us handle what happens if the user is not signed in. If you're watching this video on YouTube, unfortunately it's going to stop here. This is the part 1, and I'm going to publish the part 2 of the video afterwards. If you want to continue watching this video today and now, make sure to go visit my website www.santosenoque.com, and I upload videos more frequently there. So if you're still eager to learn about this now and you don't want to wait for the next time I'm going to upload on YouTube, just go and visit my website, register for free, no problem, and you can watch the content. And moreover, I publish more videos there than I do on YouTube, so make sure to go check that. But if you don't want, just wait for the next upload, and it's going to come very soon. Okay, thank you for watching. See you on the next video.